Flash capitalism. It builds itself on this concept that I personally don't believe in called the American dream. The United States, in a good way, set itself up as a country that's a country apart. Like, you can really come here and come from a social stratification that's entirely different than this country. Meaning that you can really come from nothing and go into the afterlife with something. It can fluctuate sometimes. With this comes this ideal of flash. Here's my nice house. Here's my nice car. This is what I have. And this is what you don't have but can obtain. It's what I call flash capitalism. See, there's always someone, the hallmark of this system is the ideal that you're going to string people along with something. See, the bad news with flash capitalism in comparison to the further two I discussed, which is guilt trip capitalism, and then the other one I'm trying to remember because I'm having a brain fog. Yeah, fearmonger capitalism. There it goes. The remaining step, we always know what the third step is. Spend your money on this. So I'm going to give you the top 3 steps of flash capitalism and why that first step is the one that always gets people. And see, the difference between, also the stark difference is the second step. So most people will get to the first and second step and will want things, and as a result will end up giving in. I think this is the kind of capitalism that gets the most people in trouble because it's not as telling as the first two I've already discussed. So there are 3 steps to flash capitalism, okay, as it pertains to this ideal of the so-called American dream. The first step, okay, is receipts. In other words, you'll see these people getting on the private jets, not the fake jet that people go and pose in, because that's been easy to expose. I mean, you'll actually hear them talking in a background with a jet started and stepping out of like a Phantom or a Rolls Royce. I don't know if those two cars are the exact same thing, but some flashy, nice car where somebody's catering to them and opening the door for them. It doesn't matter that they could have paid for that service and that could all be acting. The receipt looks real to you. Now, I'm not saying it's not all real because I think some of these people take private jets. You'll also see a furnished house, and they won't just let you see them enter that house once. You'll enter that house with them several times. They'll have dedicated rooms that they go into often with photos and everything so that it looks so real that you believe it to be real. And that's the problem. Some of these things are real. The problem with this capitalism, this first step, is that a whole lot of lies and a whole lot of truth are intermingled to fool you, and you don't know which one is which. During this first step, the receipts step, you're going to get a crap ton of anecdotal stories. Unfortunately, about 80% of these are true. It's that other 20% you got to flesh out. That's just me making a numerical comparison. I could be wrong. It could be 70-30. It could be 50-50. It could be 10-90. Who knows? You're going to get some story about their childhood, and one of the most heartbreaking ones will always have truth to it. Where they lived on the street, where they knew what it was like to starve, what they knew what it's like to have your car break down on the freeway, how they can remember not having lights on or toilets that flush. You're gonna get the nitty gritty Heck, I've even given those stories, but they're true though. But you cannot believe they're true because people can make things up online. Do you see where this is going? Receipts is also posing on nice cars, knowing a handful of celebrities, all that good stuff. Having proof of themselves on stages at conferences talking to people. Trust and believe a flash capitalist is going to give you some sort of receipts, because they need you to know that they're not talking out of their behind, although you can go and flesh those things out if you really need it to. There's still some scamming in there. It's just you're going to have to go do deep research and find out what's a lie and what's the truth. And that's how they get you on this first step, because you take their word for it because you so bad want to have something going for you. By the way, I should have thanked Mr. Burns, because back in June of 2024, he gave me this idea in a video about people believing everything they hear online. So this term flash capitalism is something he reminded me of on one of his Whip It Out Wednesdays. So thank you, Mr. Burns. The key to step one is that you just didn't want to do your research to find out if this person's story is true and find out if the background of it is true. Even with all this knowledge, these people know you're not going to read it because you're so interested in getting the fast results. You want to get to the end of the line. You want shortcuts so they can easily show you what they've obtained, so that you fall for it. Number two, this is where they get you. I have the secret formula, the secret sauce. And if you just buy this book, attend these conferences, or get in this group for this amount of money, if you want to know the secret, I'll tell you this. The problem is you'll go buy that book, you'll go to those conferences, right? You'll go to those think tanks, and you still won't know what the secret sauce in the formula is that made them rich. Trust and believe, because people's like, they made that up. There is no thing. Yes, they didn't. There really is a secret formula and a secret sauce. In other words, when I say that, yes, they made that up, but at the same time, there are ways and paths and avenues that they got their fortune that they're not going to tell you about. They're just going to make money stringing you along and feeding you breadcrumbs, or better yet, feeding you crumbs from the plate of a finished cake or a finished slice of cake instead of giving you a piece of the slice. That you're going to get a slice of it is an illusion. That's why once you attend those think tanks, once you attend those conferences, once you attend them either in person or video, they're still going to dangle and give you very little to keep that revenue stream coming. Because so long as you're curious about what the secret is, you'll keep emptying your pockets without subconsciously thinking, because you refuse to get into step one, which is the research of these people, to know that someone's already exposed them. See, the bad news is going into step three, because that's what we're going to get into now. There are programs that you pay into. The purpose of step three is to keep that revenue stream coming. And the bad news is, for every 1,000 that they've played, about 9 or 10 of them are actually going to be success stories. And that's where they get you. But you have to flesh out the nuance of those success stories. Because by step three, you've already spent so much of your money and hadn't seen results. Now, let's be fair in business to flash capitalists. Nothing is a guarantee anyway. It's the fact that they sell you a secret formula and a secret sauce that they were never going to give you is the issue here. And you will have dumped tens of thousands of dollars into something that at no point in time ever benefited you, because you were so caught up on the rags to riches story, which was step one, the receipts or the flash, that you needed to know step two, the secret, to get you to step three, open up your wallet. The commonality of these people, as I've stated and reiterated, is that they know you're not smart enough to go do your own research. Because, see, they'll sit here and tout off books that you should go buy from legitimate people who've also become multimillionaires. Well, just go read this book. It'll change this. But most of them won't break down what it is about that book that tells you that. Whatever secret sauce they have, whatever secret formula they have, you are never getting that. That is the hook to keep you perpetually in the third step, which is always buying books and buying freaking merchandise and buying programs that were never gonna make you rich but line their pockets. Flash capitalism is suffocating. When you're in step one and you start seeing all that flash, start doing your research. And if you don't do research and don't protect yourself, you have no one but yourself to blame.